Well, hello and welcome back to the Force Friday show where we discuss all things Star Wars. Stephen, today the primary title, headline, whatever the hell, funny enough it's about titles, is all about the calm before the storm. They say UK Twitter account for Star Wars has posted a little cryptic message about calm before the storm.
The Galactic Storm.
The Galactic Storm. And basically Games Radar, where this is coming in from, this headline is saying that this could be them warning is that the title is about to be released for Star Wars Episode 9. Now we have to throw in a short little warning there, Stephen, that this is pre-recorded. We're recording this on the Tuesday.
So if this comes out...
well short Friday. Welcome to the Force Friday show on the Tuesday. So it's pre-recorded, so if this is announced subsequently after we've recorded this, it's old news, we know.
Yeah, you might want to fast forward on about 5 minutes.
Fast forward on about 5 minutes to the next headline.
I think, John, there's been a lot of buzz about, especially with some of the actors from Star Wars. Anthony Daniels has been
Daniels has went down a rabbit hole.
And I don't know, I think he's ever coming back out there. And Mark Hamill as well does it all the time anyway. But I think we're getting close to it. I really do. I think it's nearly in the headlines nearly every day if you check online for Star Wars.
I'm going to search up Anthony Daniels.
And you're right, it seems like it's every week we're talking about this, about the title. It's usually round about the turn of the year we get the announcement. We're now into February, mid-February now, and we still don't have the title. We talked about it last week as well. J.J. Abrams is probably the only person in the whole galaxy knows the title of this. So we're really just desperate to find out what this title is. I have heard, and I don't know whether this is true or not, John, and I don't know how you feel about this title, but there's a few of these articles online just now from different sources saying that the title is going to be The Balance of the Force. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's stating the obvious.
It's just a terrible cumulative ending as well for a trilogy. The Balance of the Force.
It's like saying, you know, there's no gravity in space.
Yeah. That's terrible, Stephen.
There's no information there, is there?
Yeah, it's not for me at all, that one. No, I hope that, if that has been the headline or the title for the film, no wonder JJ's been keeping it to himself for so long, because that's just dreadful, man.
Maybe he's trying to retract it before it gets out there.
Retract it.
Come up with something better.
Well, JJ, if you're watching this, highly unlikely, don't make that a title, Steve. Stop saying again, Stephen. I'm obsessed with your name. Yeah. JJ, don't make that a title.
No, don't. Please,
this is this fractured hand, Stephen. That's squeezed it accidentally in the middle of the intro, and I'm having a bit of a melon.
I think you're going down a bit.
I'm going down a rabbit hole, yes, Stephen. I'm looking at
Anthony Daniels' Twitter account.
Yeah. I'm actually back in the article, Stephen. I'm reading this. There's not much to go on. Essentially, it's just the Twitter account for the UK Star Wars Twitter account. Then essentially going on about the Galactic calm before the storm. But yeah, I'm looking at Anthony Daniels' Twitter account again here, Stephen. Wow, this is just absolutely crazy. I have to rest before I fall apart, but wait, I'm receiving a message from TRAV. Oh, signal fading, come back. The one who got it. This was from a few days ago. Yeah. Just yesterday, he says, incoming, decoding, someone is getting the mess. Signal fail, RNSN, AOA, TRDC, weekend, Stephen, this guy's lost the plot. He wrapped shooting last week and he's
I think he's wrapped too early. I think he should have wrapped with the rest of the crew, the cast and crew, because he's had too much time in his hands.
He wants to wrap it in.
I bet he's had a lot of feedback from those tweets.
4,228 likes, 568 retweets.
Because he knows he can play with these people.
Yeah, he's not playing with me. I don't even follow him, Stephen. So no, I do follow him. I'm lying. But I've just not been paying attention because he's a man that's just lost the plot. He's not fractured his hand. He's got no excuse. But in terms of that Balance of the Force potential title, Stephen, that's just god awful. I do not want that. Absolutely no chance. I want something that's going to be fitting for the end of the saga, the Skywalker saga, unless we get a potential heir to Luke popping up in this film, which is not going to happen. We need a better title than that. We need something that's befitting of the end of this great free trilogy saga. Yeah. And the Balance of the Force is not cutting it for me. But look here, we might have eggs in my face, Stephen. By the time this airs, and perhaps we've got a new title for episode 9, Anthony Daniels may have been vindicated for his absolute incoherent nonsense that he's spouting on Twitter. Who knows? But Stephen, before we move on briefly, I did hint that this may be these various news outlets getting ahead of themselves. This might not be about the title after all. No. Because I was watching the Christian Harloff discussing this discussing C3PO, aka Anthony Daniels' incoherent ramblings on Twitter, and he hinted that it may perhaps be down to potentially Chief Palpatine coming back. There may be talk of Ian McDermott appearing at Celebration. I think it's been confirmed, and that this may be Star Wars. The accounts maybe getting ready to announce a big announcement about Chief Palpatine.
If that is true, John, they really have. They're really determined to pee all over Return of the Jedi. They're halfway there anyway, but no, I hope not. As a big a fan of Ian McDermott as I am, he's done his bit for Star Wars. It was, you know, those first 6 episodes, he served his purpose. It was the rise and the rise and the demise of Palpatine as the character. Thousands of years of you know, the Sith lying dormant, and then his rise to power, and then you know, as I said, his demise was all wrapped up in Return of the Jedi. But saying that, so was Luke's arc, and
absolutely, Stephen. Look, the final thing I will throw into this is that you're also not a man that's on board with the whole clone thing. Which we've seen in the expanded universe. There was multiple clone.
Maybe that's what the title's going to be called. Episode 9, Attack of the Clones 2.
Or Return of the Clones. I don't know, Stephen. But look, man, anything is possible in this wacky world of Star Wars. He did kill off Plagueis after all, the man who mastered death. He got all his secrets, so perhaps he survived that jaunt down that shaft in the Death Star, and then subsequently survived the explosion.
Maybe he's one of those Boney M band members.
Yeah, he could be one of the. Yeah, it could be that other one. That strange sort of a dark one we were discussing. I don't know, Stephen. I digress. I'm going to move on because I'm giving incoherent nonsense. I'm becoming full Anthony Daniels here. The next topic, Stephen, you've got it in front of you, is all about J.J. Abrams confirming the wrapping of Star Wars Episode 9. If we've not got a title, as the shooting of this show is going out.
What are you doing, J.J.?
Yeah, it's an emotional. It's an emotional cast photo, Stephen. It says. I seen the photograph, Stephen, on Twitter. It was quite emotional seeing these new era of characters. Obviously, Finn, Poe, and Rey.
I thought this picture was from about 2013. I thought it was from The Force Awakens, but I'm wrong. It's not.
It's because I'm not aged, Stephen. But this is this strange shot of a desert setting. Again, back to. But funnily enough, you mentioned Boney M. The early set release of the photos. Of the sets, it was these strange velour, satin, alien creatures floating about the desert, so perhaps this is going to be tying into this, Stephen. But what do you make of it finally wrapping? Are you happy?
Well, it kind of contradicts what we were saying last week. I wasn't that sure how far in production they were. I thought they were well on, but I didn't think they were that well on. Well, they were only days away from wrapping. I think we were talking about it last week, saying you said Mark Hamill's just began, but he's clearly not, because
it started a couple of months ago, Stephen. So
he kept it quiet, but he is a master of you know, keeping things quiet.
He was talking about the script getting sent out to Romania for him to read, and that was probably about December time. Right. So it's been a couple of months. He's had, so that's probably enough to get his bit in. He's only going to be a Force ghost sitting in a log anyway, so it doesn't matter. Maybe sitting in a leg as well, I don't know. Anything's possible, Steve.
Yeah, but the picture itself, John, is it Jakku, is it Tatooine, or is it another planet? That's the big question.
I hope it's Tatooine, because that would tie into obviously the tradition of getting back to Tatooine.
There's talk about them getting back to Endor as well. I don't know why.
There's a jungle setting. Yeah, there was leaked photos of a.
I don't know if that's got to do with Vader's last resting place. I don't know if maybe Kylo Ren's on some kind of
Stephen, it would tie into the Balance of the Force headline. I keep saying headline title.
Yeah.
Also the Balance of the Force. Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, brought balance to the Force in a roundabout way by returning back to Anakin. But
I'm just going back to your question, John. I'm happy, because I think it's now they can start the post-production side of things now. They've got till December, so they've got plenty of time to get everything in place. Now they've got everything in the can, as I say. I think this is the most difficult time for the cast now, because while they're away in location and learning the lines, keeping themselves busy, etc., that's probably the easy part for them. This part now, when they've got a lot of time in their hands, they'll be psyching themselves up for doing the promotion, like they did for The Last Jedi. They were on tour for maybe about 3 months promoting that film, as I recall. Mark Hamill looked very tired at the very end of that.
Yeah, and a lot of people were taking screen grabs of his videos and saying this
he
was
zoning out,
he was devastated.
No, I think he's just tired. He's an old man, you know. So
he's in his early 60s.
So I think this is the hardest time for the actors because they'll have more time in their hands. People will be desperate for leaks. They'll have to watch what they're doing. They'll have to watch what they're saying. Thankfully, none of them are like the chap that plays Peter Parker. I can't remember his name. Tom Holland. Who spills the beans at every opportunity.
No,
so does Mark Ruffalo as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, but
Mark Ruffalo brings his phone into the premiere screeners and leaves it on.
But
cheers, Mark.
As I said, it must be the toughest part for the Star Wars cast. But I'm happy. I'm happy it's all wrapped and it's the ball's rolling.
I'm happy as well, Stephen. I'm delighted. Yeah, I'm delighted to see that they finally get it in the can. That's it. It's completed. It's a complete entity. Yeah. We can go into post-production, and JJ's done his bit. Hopefully, he's done a good job. This is a guy who's traditionally kick-started, rejuvenated Alien franchises. I don't want to call Star Wars an Alien franchise. It was never, ever an Alien franchise.
Sci-fi fantasy.
A lot of people didn't like the direction that George took the prequel trilogy on. I didn't care. I thought it was quite good. I grew up with it. CG, it's not aged well. Certainly some of the dialogue was a bit terrible. Some corny, forced romance between Padme and Anakin, but it was never an Alien franchise. But JJ came in, he rejuvenated it for a new generation. He's never been a guy to come in and end something that he started. This is something he's never really done in the past. So he's been given the chance now, also with the sacking or whatever, the parting of ways with Colin Trevorrow. He's come in, so I hope that he really has come in. Returned Star Wars to that start. It's just there's something about The Force Awakens. It's just got that Star Wars feel.
It does beg a question though, whether or not JJ was that keen to do this episode, or whether or not he felt he had to, because I mean,
maybe it called to him, Stephen. Like Maz Kanata says at the beginning, one of the trailers at the end, it's for The Force, it's calling to you.
I know they would have had an outline anyway, so they knew where this was going at some point. I think maybe Adam Driver was told very early on by J.J. Abrams, you know, I'm going to give you a phrase or a keyword or something.
And thankfully Rian Johnson didn't butcher it.
No, exactly. He's not retconned it in any fashion. So,
but yeah, look, I digress, Stephen. I'm absolutely delighted to see that it's finally in the can. This has been, like it or love it, or hate it, I should say.
Yeah.
Clearly still feeling the effects. Yeah. I think you put acid in that water again, Stephen. Yeah. But like it, love it, hate it, whatever. Marmite Films, they may be this sequel trilogy. I'm delighted to see that this creative vision for this trilogy has finally reached an end. I cannot wait to December to finally get to see this film. Hopefully we will have a title out by the time this show is released, because I want to see it sooner rather than later.
As soon as they've got a title out, they'll have a trailer out not that long after.
I think April. I think Celebration is going to be the trailer.
I'm more interested in seeing the trailer than the title, but you know what comes first. The horse comes before the cart. So in this case, I think roundabout now is about the right time for the title.
Yeah, well, they do say that, Stephen. Just getting back into that previous headline, I'm not going to go back into it, but they do say that traditionally January is the title and then April is the trailer. So we will get a trailer very soon. With obviously the film in the can now, they've got plenty to play about with. They can fire together some early post-production stuff and get the trailer out. But look, it was an emotional little photograph seeing these guys hugging each other. This is the new era coming to an end, perhaps not. And I've not got much more to add, Stephen, because I shot.
I've only got one thing to add. Where's Rose in the photograph? Is she not in between Ray and Finn there?
Maybe she's in the photograph, but she's so small, Stephen, that she's below waist height. I don't know. She's a very short actress, Rose. But I digress. I'm going to move on that note. The very next headline, Stephen, it's all about Mark Hamill potentially helping to settle a debate about the infamous Luke Skywalker meme. Now, I wasn't aware this was an infamous Luke Skywalker meme at all, Stephen. It's also the photograph of a young whiny Luke, fanboy Luke, looking down the shaft of his father's lightsaber in old Ben Kenobi's helmet. Now they say the meme is handed the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy and immediately point it at your face. Mark Hamill seen this on Twitter and he tried to settle it by asking other people.
He wasn't sure.
Was this a set, behind the scenes set photograph, or was this part of the actual production in the film? He says it's short memory issues, short-term memory loss. I can't help him out, Stephen, because I'm not aware whether this was part of the film or not.
Memory, I mean,
that's long-term memory loss.
It was over 40 years ago.
Mark,
it's very hard for somebody to remember this.
I can't even remember things I said 10 minutes ago, Stephen.
I saw this on Twitter, John, and I initially thought, and I was going to reply, not that it would have answered anyway, but I was going to reply, This looks like an outtake or something like that, just judging on what he's doing.
Yeah, I seem to recall it was in the film.
Alec Guinness is doing. But then a few days later I saw it again and I went, hold on, is this not after the line, I wish I knew him, when he was talking about his father? And maybe, I don't know, I honestly don't know what the answer to this is. I think I'm suffering from memory loss as well, because I can't remember. But
Stephen, I've watched this film about 3 dozen times.
The still, the way they've captured that, it does look like an outtake, because why would they be looking down the barrel,
Well, I seem to recall that Ben Kenobi, and I may be wrong, I may have amnesia as well. This is like group amnesia, like that Yesterday film that's coming out. Everybody forgot about the Beatles. Everyone's forgotten about this scene in Star Wars. But if I seem to recall, if it was in the film, I'd imagine that I seem to recall Ben handing the lightsaber to him, and I'm kind of looking down briefly, and then they go into the discussion about obviously his father and stuff. He would want you to have this. So
he's definitely in the pose. If you look at Alec Guinness, he's definitely in that pose where he's talking about, he's reminiscing about Anakin, because he's got his arms like
I think you may be right, Stephen. He mentions your father would have wanted you to have this, and he looks briefly down, and it's just a very brief little thing, and someone's also went in and caught it.
But when you see it as a still, it
looks ridiculous. It's like, what the hell are you doing? But again, Stephen, this is all in hindsight. We know this is a lightsaber. Luke is a whiny young farm kid, a very green farm kid, not aware of the ways of the Force or of the Jedi. Probably isn't aware of the fact that he's clutching a laser sword in his hands, and the impending death that could be on his way if he just presses that little button.
Well, we saw it with the Porgs, were the same, weren't they?
Yeah, well, that's another contentious subject though, Stephen. Where is the igniter button on that lightsaber? Because Luke used to press the kind of the golden thing down the bottom.
It was more a rectangular part of it, wasn't it?
Finn and Rey pressed the red button at the top, which was meant to be the length adjuster.
I always felt, I know we're going off on a bit of a tangent, but in regards to the lightsaber, I always felt Rey and Finn were holding it up too high.
They were.
Their hands were like millimetres from the actual blade, which isn't.
I think Luke had it right, Stephen, because Ben Kenobi gave him it. And Ben was probably willing the Force into Luke at this point, telling him, look, this is where you press it. Luke immediately went for the little gold thing at the bottom. For me, that's where you press the lightsaber on. If I was lucky enough to be able to get kind of a proper Hasbro lightsaber, or indeed one of the ones that people actually make out of the original, I believe it's Graflex, the original Graflex thing. I've tried to get them. They're about £600 on eBay. Ain't going to happen. I'm sorry, the Yanks, Americans, they get them for like $150. It's like, what the hell's going on here? That's £80 in their money.
They look good up there, actually.
They would look fantastic up there, Stephen. We need to get posters up there, incidentally. I'll get that sorted out for next week. We'll have the New Hope poster up there. By hook or by crook. But I digress, Stephen. I'm getting wished off into a Billy Connolly-esque tangent again. I can't help Mark out in all honesty. I think it was in the Star Wars. I think it was. And I'm not going to say A New Hope Star Wars, but I can't say for sure. And I'm going to move on that note, because I've not got much more to add to the very next subject, Stephen, and it's all about Solo, a Star Wars story. It's a short little vignette, I want to call it, on bbc.co.uk, talking about one of the visual effects artists and how he helped put together Solo, a Star Wars story. This is a fascinating little 5-minute video, Stephen.
I liked it.
And it really does tap into one of the things I love about Star Wars. I've said time and again, one of my biggest positives from Celebration, out with the big news headlines and stuff, title announcements and trailers, it's the panels where you get to look into the ILM guys and how they created and crafted visual effects in Star Wars, and it's just a fascinating watch. So, what was your thoughts, Stephen?
I liked it. The visual effects supervisor was Julian Foddy from ILM London. They spoke to Al Maloney. I think he must be from the BBC. I liked it. I like these kind of things. I always love the extras you get on like DVDs and Blu-rays. Especially Star Wars, I think they do it so well. I think that's one of the best things about the prequel DVD packages was the bonus discs.
I always recall Stephen
so in depth
on the boo, showing you how they done the submersed vehicle. That Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Jar Jar were in, how they got it just perched over the waterfall, how they get in and then created that.
And the water wasn't actual water, it was sand or salt or something, I can't remember.
Stunning, Stephen,
but in this case, what really intrigued me was the explosions and how they created these explosions on the slow-mo guys. Was it the heist scene, wasn't it?
It was a heist scene, the train scene.
From Solo, and how they were able to superimpose these slow-motion explosions. I think they got the inspiration from the slow-mo guys on YouTube, Stephen.
They slow things right down. They take very small explosions inside water, and then it's also frame by frame. It's like a thermal sort of a nuclear explosion. It says that they couldn't also do a big bombastic explosion because I'll have to throw that bombastic in, because the effects of gravity would give it away. But it wasn't. They could never do something big enough on the scale they were.
When I was watching that and they were explaining, you know, when they're doing model sizes and when they're doing explosions or running water, it always looks like a model because they can't scale down certain elements. And I always remember there was a sequence in Superman the movie where they did this. I think it was like it was a scene when the world was.
Oh no, was that not that one? That was Superman 4, wasn't
it? No, I think it was. I think it was a toy car. I think it was the one Lewis was in, and the water was running down to this toy town. It was supposed to be a real town, a village.
They didn't even try to make that car look real, Stephen. You could still see the model underneath the undercarriage. Dreadful, and he crawled back out of that.
Things have came a long way since then, John. We're talking 40 years ago, you know.
You're absolutely right about the explosion, Stephen. That was one of the most fascinating things. The other stuff we've seen, the likes of the green screen things and the droids, putting that together, that's fascinating. But just the creation of the mountainscape. They went out with a helicopter and took 80,000 photographs, put it into this incredible software, which recreated the mountainscape entirely. And I love the little thing he says at the end, a little quip where he says, most people watching that back would think the mountains are real, the explosion's fake, but it was actually flipped. The explosion was real and the mountainscape was fake. They completely computer generated the mountain scene. And they used this underwater explosion, slowed it right down so it looked like a massive nuclear explosion, and it's just stunningly crafted. And hats off to those guys because they were really pushed into a compressed schedule.
Whatever way and technique they were doing it, John, whether it was the mountain or the explosion or whatever. When I was watching that film, it didn't even cross my mind. I think we've got to that stage now where we're just accepting, these things for what they are, and especially the part where you're talking about the droid as well. I can't remember what that droid is called, and so.
Christ, it was L7. It was like Elite.
Yeah, but I thought, I know it's not real, but it didn't cross my mind to think, someone in a green suit or anything like that. No. And it's the same with BB-8. I think there's a few actors that dress up in those green suits to operate that droid as well, and I thought it was actual droid just on like a ball magnet thing, and I think there is one.
No, it is, Stephen. You're right. It's actually a spherical droid.
Yeah,
they've got someone remote controlling the head to turn around.
Yeah, but there's certain scenes like in the desert they can't pull these things off.
Yeah, but they've actually got guys behind. Operating the bigger ball in green. So you're right,
I think
Stephen.
we've just got to that point now, and this documentary. This documentary sort of highlights that where we are with the visual effects now, and ILM, they're the masters at it.
They absolutely are.
This was a company that George Lucas set up so long ago because of Star Wars, Episode 4, if you want to call it that. So I thought it's fascinating. I love these kind of things. It's always nice to see. It doesn't really take you out the experience of the film, either if you ever go back. You don't start dissecting it, you just enjoy it for what it was the first time around, but it's always good to see how these guys managed to do these things.
Yeah, Steve, it's always been a thing about Star Wars. They've pioneered technologies, they've shot these big films, and it's been something that's been synonymous, and it's just great to see how they break it down into its various different components to make the magic happen. And as you did say, Stephen, much like a magician's trick, it never loses its impact when you go back to watch the film afterwards.
Definitely not.
But I digress, we're running out of time here, so we're going to jump onto the final topic, Stephen. This is something close to your heart.
Yes.
Slightly close to my heart. I never owned these specific ones, but it's all about Hasbro announcing the retro Kenner style Star Wars action figures. They're all coming back, and they're even bringing back a Death Star board game, Stephen. So what the hell's your thoughts on this? You owned a large deal of these.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief, John, because I know we're running out of time. I think this is great. I think it's a good idea from Hasbro to re-release these retro Kenner style Star Wars action figures. I had a number of these. I wouldn't say a great number. I had all sort of main players. I had Luke, Han, Leia, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, C-3PO.
That's a number, Stephen.
So it's all the sort of the big ones. I didn't go for all the Gamma Marine guards and all that. Carry on. I didn't even have Boba Fett, but I digress. I think it's great. I think these Kenner style ones are going to be very interesting and very sought after for collectors. They'll not hold the same value as the original ones, from back in the day. But I think it's for anyone that collects these kind of series. I think it's a great idea from Hasbro. I don't think I'm quite there as a collector to go down that road just yet. There's a few things I would like to get before this, but I think it's an interesting concept. It's a great idea from Hasbro, and I think it will sell. Yeah,
Stephen, listen, as I said, I don't think I had these specific ones growing up. I also had the Stormtrooper sort of action men, Luke and Han, which I was absolutely infatuated with. But I do recall when we moved into a house, a guy who got the house off of left a big ottoman full of toys, and I recall having the Sand People, Tusken Raiders and stuff like that, and that was incredible. But as you did say, Stephen, this is more for collectors. It's just incredible to see the difference between the modern day techniques with us scanning, 3D scanning every actor involved in the franchise, and you get down to this minuscule little detail with the 6-inch, I think it is, and 8-inch figures.
Amazing.
And then you compare it to this. This is going to hold a lot of nostalgic value.
Definitely,
to a lot of collectors' hearts, and they'll go out and buy it. And look, hats off to Hasbro for doing it. It's always good to see at least some company has some sort of a thing built into them that they want to please the fans, unlike certain sections of Lucasfilm who do seem to go out of their way to infuriate a lot of the fan base these days. But I digress, we'll not get down that rabbit hole, Stephen. I'm going down the whole Anthony Daniels rabbit hole again. We're going to end the show on that note. Did you enjoy the show? If you did, comment below, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll be back next Tuesday with Box Office Chat.